Cyberspace. At this time, we want to welcome you to focus on Liberia. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Today is Saturday, and it is our Saturday special. And we have a guest in studio with us, Deputy Minister for Planning, Research, and Policy. That is Minister Hassan Karneh. Again, he is the Deputy Minister for Research, Planning, and Policy at the Ministry of Gender. We are happy to have him. We are sitting with the minister today to get some better understanding of the work they are doing at the Ministry of Gender. He consented to sit with us so that he can explain to all of us what are the work they are doing, their challenges and progress that they have made so far, and also how is their work enhancing the PAPD, which is the government national policy document that they are relying on to carry on their work for the first 6 year term that the Liberian people have given them. So we want to welcome you to our show. If you are joining us, welcome. If you are here already, please hit that share button for us as we go into the show. I'm Anthony here along with my partner, Mr. Dennis Ja. Mr. Ja, uh, we are here.
Well, I'm glad to be in the presence of the Honorable Deputy Minister, and we want to say welcome, Mr. Karneh, to our Saturday special. As Anthony said already, this is a place where we get to know a little bit more about the government of Liberia. When information is not flowing, what takes place is rumors or ELDC. We don't want that. So we want to welcome all our viewers from across the globe. This is Focus on Liberia. We are broadcasting live from Atlanta, Georgia.
All right. So at this time, we want to welcome the minister, Mr. Hassan Karneh. Welcome to Focus on Liberia.
Uh, thank you very much to my own brother and friend, Anthony here, and Dennis Ja for allowing me this platform to be here today. I'm so glad and happy to be here to provide some inside information as it relates to the working of the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection and the Republic of Liberia. Thank you for having me.
All right, folks, you heard it right there. Hit the share button. We know many of you have had concerns about the work of the Ministry of Gender. Some people believe that maybe they're not doing much enough, but the minister is here to explain to you what they have been doing, what have been their challenges, so that we will understand the work they are doing. So, Honorable Minister, not many of our viewers know who the Honorable Hassan Karneh is. Just maybe in less than 3 minutes, who is Minister Hassan Karneh?
Minister Hassan Karneh is a humble servant of the Liberian people first. I hail from the Grand Cape County. Parents settled both in Cape and Bombay, a Muslim background. I am the Deputy Minister for Research, Planning and Policy for the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection. Before my ascendancy, I've had more than 20 years of experience in government, the government cycle. I first started my career probably as the filing clerk, cadet from the National Social Security and Welfare Corporation, and then on to the level where I later went to got employed by Dr. Anthony Sai at the Ministry of Finance as a payroll auditor, and worked through that system and became supervisor, deputy chief disbursement officer, and what have you. And also, I hold a graduate degree a bachelor degree in public administration, certificate in tax law, revenue accounting from the University of North Texas, University of Liberia, and then University of North Texas, and then I also hold a master's degree in international relations from the University of Liberia. So after my graduation, I left the Ministry of Finance. I got some close contact, but then it was in the Madam Ellen Johnson period. I was opportune to work with them because of the system that I knew relating to the financial system of Liberia. And we went through that time, and later on, I migrated. I went to came to the United States. United States, I was there. We got you one, came back to Liberia. Again, I got employed at the Ministry of Finance again as a principal director of indirect tax, where we proposed some tax law on indirect taxes towards Liberia, and then expanding, put a Buchanan, Brussels destination, tax deductions, 17% arrival. So everything that we have been doing has some link with what we call the economic system, the real sector economy, and that has also some link to do with gender. But I will explain that later on. And then after that, I got appointed at the Ministry of Gender as the Deputy Minister for Research, Planning and Policy. They had to deal with a lot of partners and partnership with the international organization. Yeah.
Wow. Quite impressive, Mr. Karneh. And once again, welcome. 3 words: research, planning, and policy. Please, if you don't mind, you can break that down, what exactly you do.
Yeah, okay. Thank you very much. What do we do? I will take it first as an example with the DV bill, because that's one of our progress during this period of time. It's called Domestic Violence Bill. The Domestic Violence Bill means our department, propose what we call research. We research the law and do comparative analysis without the region and everybody who must have had domestic violence bill. That is the research. Policy, we plan the policy in the sense where we go around, set it out, go to the legislature, we play along with them, and then make sure propose that to them as our own research that we have made around the region that Liberia needs such bill. Now, when it's passed in the legislature, it becomes a policy. So that's the 3 way of doing it. We research on policy, especially as it relates to gender issues in Liberia, and we plan it, we submit it for a bill. That's how our work relates to that: research, planning, and policy.
So in that case, what's the difference between the policy and the law? Because when the legislature passes that, it becomes law.
No, when the legislature passes that, it is not yet a law. When
until the president approves.
Until the president signs it, it gets signed to handbill, printed into handbill, now it becomes law. That's the difference. It can be a policy, it can be standing policy. There are some policies that we have made are still standing now, but yet not as in handbill. So it's not yet law, it's not yet legal. So during our time as Ministry of Finance, when we're doing tax law, even a tax law that we have made, and those tax laws that you made, passed by the legislature, signed by the president, but it's not printed in the handbill. You have what we call tax regime. Between there, anybody can have legal litigation on you. So you'll be holding liable government for paying that. So there are procedures to follow first to make sure it is a real policy or law.
All right, thank you. In your role, one of your responsibilities is that you develop and implement frameworks for monitoring and the implementation of the national gender policy of Liberia. What a big word, national gender policy. I was trying to read it last night. You can see my face. So tell me about the national gender policy of Liberia. Your name is on it too. What is that whole document all about in summary?
Thank you very much. Before we talk about what we have, but let me just say that's the revised gender policy. But we had a gender policy before we came on. So it is a policy where the total involvement of every male and then every female, where you value gender activities. Women are involved in every activity, be it technical level, be it to the level where there will be in governance and the upward movement. So we came back to revise the policy that making sure. But the first thing in revising the policy is that every government, ministry, agency, and corporation should have a unit. I think in the president last set of a unit address, we had that input into a speech so that people, because we're seeing, since we talk about, we're seeing that women are being in the system, but have not had opportunity as compared to men, right? So we revise gender policy to make sure that it is mandatory on all marks to have it in a system wherein we establish what we call gender, social, and inclusion unit in every ministry agency to get involved in women issues to get involved, because there are some people who have sexual harassment job, upward movement where people are saying now women we can have opportunity. So we'll make sure basic opportunity are there providing for women to have a better growth in the system.
Okay. So talking about the framework still, when you are implementing, what are
Yeah.
the specifics that you implement to enhance the entire policy?
What the framework we said is, first thing we have to have technical agreement. We have what we say, we call the framework said is to allow the input of every sector, because we deal with it as per sector, private, public sector. In the public sector, especially with the government, that for now we are dealing with LEC, the Ministry of Lands and Mines. We work with them as that unit. The input on technical knowledge, because Lands and Mines, LEC, and Public Work are technical people. So we look at female women who are there. The framework there is that we want to make sure that if you are somebody from the science background, we set a technical framework where you will be allowed, so that we can see how we can provide growth in that line. Because tomorrow when there's some opportunity, we can get assistant minister for some technical services, we'll say, yeah, we have already grown some women from Ministry of Public Work who've had the experience to do all the kind of work. So on that note, we get a priority. Secondly, we also make sure to have out for them in what do we call like capacity building. In capacity building, where people will have to make sure they are prioritizing capacity building. When they have that time, they have to be built up, send them away, local, internationally. That also provides a basis for them to go. So these are framework that we put in place, agree upon it before we are going forth to make sure we do our agenda in our development path.
All right. Before I bring Dennis in, one of your roles also is monitoring. So walk me through your monitoring process, if you like. So what do you do when you monitor? Why are you monitoring?
Thank you. That's one of my key areas I would love to talk about. Monitoring and evaluation. The monitoring is key to me. I love to do monitoring activities. It has bring some serious issue in our past, for the past governments that have been in Liberia. Monitoring evaluation is so key to a extent that it is an audit program that have been happening all through Liberia, right? Now, we have had some, since we took over, we have a serious problem with the monitoring evaluation sector, even with gender and the rest of Liberia. Now, I make a key priority in the sense where we have had program doing Liberia, especially even the UN, on the UN circle down. They will say, today we spend about $3 billion in Liberia, right? And on the funding that will be allowed to come to Liberia, up to the $3 billion or more, you can even see the expenditure of those money in actual reality. And people should be working along with the government, where government will go and see, monitor these processes. And when you look, most times they will say like, we spend $3 billion, whereas the lead ministry, like example, a general ministry will be having $200,000. So when they go out and make report, they'll be showing $3 billion spent on Liberia, and general ministry will only be talking about 200,000 where we haven't seen anything. So you see, so I make it a key priority in the sense where that I propose every sector that had to deal with monitoring evaluation, provided sector clearance, so you have to do monitoring. Where you get a program that you have to want to do monitoring. At the level of general ministry with different departments, we're going to program will monitor you. But the UN will have to have set up our own monitoring framework where we will follow and see bit by bit on what you do. So we'll capture this report into our national reporting quarterly, biannually, and so the president will know that. Even if it was NGO or CSO who perform those taxes, it'll be in our report to show that you have done this. If we don't receive your money, but we'll make sure we monitor to give us the better agenda or the better achievement for Liberia.
As a follow-up to that, so you have say the Ministry of Gender National Policy.
Yeah.
Walk me through how you monitor a policy to make sure, because from implementation, from even the planning stage all the way to implement, how do you monitor to make sure that this is achieving its targeted goals and objectives?
Okay, so thank you very much. That's a very good question there. Well, the first thing, like we said, the framework, when we set it up, agree with you that we are going to follow up on these policy framework that we agreed to, that you should adhere to as an institution. Take, for example, Ministry of Lands and Mines. Now, if we should go back tomorrow, we serve the office, we ask you that you will regularly, or we will regularly make sure calls on our regular quarterly basis that we can provide you some new advanced training as it relates to what we can do along with you. Now, if you go ahead, not respecting our training policy, not respecting on moving on upward movement. When I say upward movement, means the sense where women are there, but then you promoting, you bring somebody from outside from the unit and promote them over that woman and make sure that women have opportunity with the same technical knowledge. Then you bring, you're moving a path for what we agree on. Definitely, when we're moving on you and see that you have made such error in the past time, we will formally writing on you for that. That is an error for that. You are getting off the path.
Mm.
Yes.
And what do you do as a corrective action?
Oh, the first thing we write in this case, sometimes we may not like it to take it to the cabinet level, but we will have to write formal communication to the minister, because usually we have the gender unit is probably headed by a deputy minister of administration, but we will write the minister formally to let them know that this is an error, let it not be repeated. And most times we will have to check me themselves to see how we can go about doing the right thing.
And this is not but like the ministry is Ministry of Gender, Children, and Social Protection.
And social protection, yeah.
But anytime we hear gender, most of the time to our mind is women. And even what you have said, consistently you have emphasized women.
Yeah.
Talk about the gender or the children and social protection part of it.
Thank you. Thank you very much. That's one key thing. Before I get, let me talk about children before I get to the next.
Hassan, before you continue, you holding the phone in your hand?
Yes, I have to do that for a little while because.
Wow, there's a way you can set it down. You sit comfortably and be able to talk. Holding it in your hands is a lot of work.
Yeah, I'll manage that. I told her we have electricity department, but current one, so
okay,
decided to just manage it that way. Yeah.
All right, continue.
But let me say first, the children division is there. We call it Children and Social Protection. That division deals with all children issues ranging from rape, honor A, rape, child labor. We call it trafficking. We have all the division there dealing with that. But it's a very key. It's one, in fact, it's the largest. Because it has so much social worker in our department looking after children, looking after the elderly, looking after the at-risk youth, looking after so many different components of the gender ministry. So that department is so important to the scene where there are some work, but most time rape cases are overriding their function, but they do a lot of work there too. Now, on the social protection side, that cover the ministry. There's one thing I always like to tell people when I got appointed to the Ministry of Gender. Mm-hmm. It wasn't just because people thought that I was going to do women's work. Yes, it looked that way. But I'm also responsible for presiding over the World Bank project that is called Liberia Social Safety Net Program. That is responsible to make sure we give cash out into the most recent progress we made in the Southeast. We give cash out to our people there. We give in Grand Crew, in Maryland, River G, Bombing. We have made some progress in those lines. So under my department and the social protection department, we have had the World Bank program. So those programs have what we call timeline, baseline, triggers, and achievement. All the baseline triggers and achievement are related to what we call the DPO series reporting system from the World Bank. The DPO series reporting system is where we have to do based on econometric financial work that we have to do. So most time when we do the kind of report, when we set it up, it gives Liberia a good glory. In the most recent time, after we make the first achievement since we got there, by giving her the cash and we have the cash disbursement, we were very glad that they have supported World Bank, supported the Liberian government with over 40 million support as part of our effort that we apply. So yes, gender is not only male women's work, it's technically some econometric work that had to do with social protection.
All right, thank you. Later in the show, we'll get to the funding aspect, including the funds you talk about, which is the social cash transfer. We'll get to that. But let's talk about gender and children activities.
Yes.
My understanding and reading also is that you should be collecting data on gender and children and the elderly. You need data. So walk us through what are the relevant data for general activity that you rely on in making your decision in developing your policy and planning? You are the guy for policy and planning. How do you collect the data? Who or do you collect data from as well?
Thank you very much. First thing that's one of our main challenges over there. Data collection, data information, to have a tangible data have been an issue where before we took over. And then we also, since we came on, we have made it a priority to see who can work along with CSO, people who've been working along with what we call the referral pathway, those who be working on GBV issues, gender-based violence issues on the referral pathway. They work in the various countries, because on that, my office also gave what we call sectoral clearances. Sectoral clearance means to grant you permission to work into the gender field. If you are collecting data, we just prioritize that. Every work you do, we want a monthly report or quarterly report from you to get into our system. Data that will be affecting women and children, girls. So all the information will be making sure that we can make our decision on it. But we have now had a data system so strong. And in my next plan is to make sure that we have a system called a digital platform. This digital platform will produce a dashboard where you can go there wherever you want to pull all data from somewhere. I have some project working along with my USAID and social protection folks to develop this platform. We have GBV data in it. We'll have children data in it. We'll have women and children data in it. We have other at-risk youth data in it. So we'll produce it as a report every month or quarterly on the dashboard on our website, and you will go there and see a report from there. Well, until then, we are trying to do it. It's been some difficult time because, actually government been trying, but the support from them, from the national government, have been a difficult one.
Again,
so what kind of data you collect? Let's say, take for instance, for the social protection piece. I know digital platform, these are some big things that you can get to later, but in the meantime, you can do something small. What would be the kind of data you collect and how you compile or analyze that data?
Yeah, so you see, what we do from the GBV level, they have what we call data entry clerks. I will have a clerks in the county. So the clerk collect raw data right on the spot and then provide it data to the IMS system of the GBV. So the GBV key issue the work with the international partners. That report they filter it and provide to us. But we also plan to go do monitoring on those data entry clerks, because sometimes you give me information, I may not want to just believe it. I want to know what is tangible, it's primary or secondary data. I want to know where it is. So these are issues that we have to follow. We have been following up with. For the children division, yes, we can go along. In the most recent time, by next week we'll be going along, maybe viewing the sub-region where Cape Town, Bomi, to get some information on children data. That myself, I can be in the field. Some minister will be in the field. So we'll make sure that we collect the information and base our information on that. But until then, as the ministry agenda to put all together, that's why we are working on the digital pathway.
So if the data clerks are in, let's say, Sino County, and they are collecting data, give me an example of what they collect. I know it will be demographics. What else do they collect?
They collect incidences, because the first thing is that we record information based upon incidents. If there's an incident occurring, so for example, last time what happened in Sano, the women that got stripped off, and for witchcraft issues, those information are key. So they collected and let know the number of the women are involved in the kind of thing. The case right there at the logging point to the ministry, the Ministry of Health or the hospital or on the referral pathway, provide the information together. They will make sure that health is seeking the same information, saying that there were 3 women, and then the guys that work with us provide the same data on the same 3 women. So we follow up from there as the beginning of the case. Investigation starts from there, because it is the data that will start from there, from the onset to start the investigation. Yeah.
So, Mr. C, just hold on one second. Okay. I just want to find out, because you've made mention to USAID and other international bodies, right? Yeah. It appears to me that without those people, we don't really have a program.
These are our partners. These are our sponsors. These people are helping us a lot, because they see the need in helping Liberia, especially to help solve some of the critical issues that we had that deal with women, children in Liberia. But the funding to have come from Liberia government to say, Liberia government have huge funding for this. We don't have goods and services. It's so hard to come over. We don't have goods and services money. So how will we even have transportation? somebody provide them with what we call concept notes. All the concept notes go to partners. From there, they will support the concept note to make sure that we work together to achieve our aim as well as their aim in Liberia.
And what I ask that is because we can help you too. You have Liberians here in the United States, diaspora Liberians in Europe and other places that can do more because we know our people. If you send me to Bokonjiri to collect data, it will take me like this, right? But
yes,
if we are always using these international partners and you have Liberians, you have some Liberian groups, that are already interested in working on these things. What are the plans to be able to get help from us because we're willing?
Oh well, we that's one thing that we want to stress today, that the Ministry of Gender will really need assistance from our brothers and sisters across the world, because in that you will see us doing the thing that you want us to do as a government and as a ministry, but there are shortfalls, funding gaps, money.
Folks in cyberspace, there might be some connection issue there with the minister who just joined us from Liberia. Bear with us.
You see, we don't have the money. So how do we get the factual information from there? If WFP not even sponsor, if I've had a budget that will support the money, by this time I won't be going to WFP. I'll be going there immediately. We'll be doing budgets.
Mr. Karneh, we will get to the budgetary support. We have a special segment for that. All these partners, I went on your website, about almost 9 of them you're partnering with. We'll get to that, and also the government owned funding, because hey, if you have priority, we'll know based on how you spend your money, right? But let me push you, let's go back to the data thing you talk about. You talk about you putting a digital platform in place for data collection. Brilliant idea. 2 years has passed. 2 years have passed now. You're entering your third year. Why is it taking this long? You're the guy for planning and research. You can't do anything if you don't have data. If you're planning, you must know who you're planning for. You got to know how many person you're targeting. And so at least I was looking forward to seeing some data either in a PDF form that is periodically updated and on your website. I wanted to go to my Ministry of Gender website and see the number of rape cases documented, abuses of women, and other things. I may be wrong. That's your field, but that's why I wanted to see, because that's why I see in other areas. I did not see that. What is stopping that?
You are right. You are absolutely right. There is nothing stopping. Like I said, it's funny because most recently, I may want to say. Let me just say that because the concept note is with UNFPA. Right. We develop a concept note with providers. Say we need to do this. It's been 1 year or so since we took over. When I took over, immediately I started making kind of progress to measure, because I know there'll be a day for such interview or question to come about, like you ask now. Now, so when we put for the proposal, the COVID-19 issues brought about this data issue again. So I raised it up with UNFPA. UNFPA, please, can we do this? Help us out. Help us out to make sure that we can get this thing going, because we don't have money. We're talking about setting a data lab, having computers, having systems where we have internet, having where we can have tablets. Because the tablet will be inserted into a design, a platform where the man from the field will just enter the data in from there. You don't have to come to me again. So long you enter it, when you press enter, I should be receiving it in a hub. But all those things are money. We've been trying our best. Like I speak to you now, I've just been trying to get food.
I understand that as a person, but I'm saying, what do you have to spend? Let me give you an example, right? The MPhil, the institution responsible for if you look at MPhil, if you go on their website, we get updates, cases, death, all that, those specific information. It's not anything technical. It's information that they are generating and uploading for people to know the progress.
Is that anything technical? No, they have something we call, you got to build a module. You build it, and like, because the first thing I guess a system, database system, you build it. When you build that system, that's going to be a proof. So everything is registration money. We're trying to do it. So I may not want to say, but I'm building it through the social protection side, our social care side, right? Where those guys who are involved in our partners from Ghana over agreed, consented. We've been doing it, but they are here, they were in Liberia, but COVID-19 came, so they left. But they've been trying to build a system. I'm very sure between now and December, I have a proper system built where you can have the information from my dashboard. That's sure I can really show you that before.
All right.
Mr. Minister.
Yes.
So what you're saying now, like building your database and all that, let's say if I were to tell you that we can get you 10 Liberians in the diaspora that can do it for you free, will you accept that?
I'll be more than glad.
All right.
Let's start doing that. And present to the Liberian government. Oh my God. You be doing that. I can even say the concept.
Okay. Yeah, we at Focus on Liberia can put a group together that can help you free of charge.
No, that'll be good. I can even say the concept, you know what I mean, what all will be needed, and then the basic needs that I'll be needing to put it in reverse pathway together. I can send the concept for that. That'll be very good. Acceptable. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you are just joining us, this is Saturday special on Focus on Liberia. Our guest is the Deputy Minister of Planning and Research at the Ministry of Gender, Mr. Hassan Karneh. Yeah. Back to you, Asoni.
Thank you. Earlier, you were talking about the social protection activities that you are involved in, and the one that comes to my mind is this social cash transfer program that the ministry has been carrying on. You received this huge, contribution from the World Bank, and so you started giving cash to people in Liberia. You started from Grand Crew and Maryland, and you moved to other counties. My first question is, how did you come to the determination that giving physical cash to these people who are vulnerable, from your determination, is the best way to help them out?
Thank you for that question. Mm-hmm. Before I just go into it, that has been one of the biggest achievements for this government on the Ministry of Gender. Mm-hmm. I know we have with domestic violence, we have the Land Right Act for all the things, but also on the other side of social protection, that is the biggest win we have had in this government for the PFP, for the PAPD. Now, before I start going, this program was in place at the Ministry of Gender since 2013. 2013, the negotiation started. 14 when the Ebola came about. And when Ebola came about, we have a quick snap of the program onto how people can be a beneficiary. Right. Now, World Bank had already brought the money, but the bank keeping that time. So the beneficiary case that they went and found people who have died, children who are survivors, parents who couldn't afford again. And then they brought them to get the first cash. But then we weren't in government. Well, I was in government, but I was probably already left in the States now. Now, when we came back as government since 2018, World Bank came back to the social cash program is here. How are you going to do to get the money out to the people? Because these are criteria set by the World Bank that will get cash to the people. We made it there. So we developed a tool to go back to the kind of called PMT, post-mortem test. Post-mortem test is that how do you live? How you be living? Have you had good square meal? What is the living condition? The mud house living? The structure of your home? If it's mark, all the question will speak poverty. So the answer for the question, the PMT test, brought in the lowest, called the poorest of the poor, who have died from there. If you're in a mud, you can be in mud or your whole plaster. There's someone who in mud, who don't have anything, we'll get in mud. No, we'll start in the mud first. So it's the poorest of the poor upwards. So that's how we've been finding people to know that they need the kind of food. But we also want that if you get the food, we get the money from us, is that you will have to go out to make sure to do what we call accompanying measures. Accompanying measures is where I'm encouraging Mama, as my father, as your son, please go behind your house, do backyard garden. The backyard garden, we have work along with health ministry and agriculture. So tomorrow when I come and see you get the same money you've been having, but you are going to be $50 on top of it, and you can say your own cassava, your own potato, you need to go buy the market. Guess what I can do? We are planning on what we call VSL, Village Saving Loan, to make them grow. So that tomorrow, that in the future, that economy that local economy there can boom up to be paying tax to government too.
All right. And
So what
go
has
ahead,
been the
Mr. John.
tracking of that to check the progress?
Oh yes, right now, thank you. I like the question. As I speak to you now, our team is set up called PDM, Post Distribution Monitoring. So post distribution monitoring is a team still right now to follow up with the people on the most recent cash they received in the 3,500 some more beneficiaries. The most recent one we did. So the team going to the county now to follow up on all our mothers, our fathers, as a household. What have you done with the most recent money you received? Those benefits will come back, will feed into the World Bank, and they will show our progress that Liberia has made.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, watching all your focus on Liberia. This is Saturday special. You will see this program on a weekly basis here. Focus on Liberia. We will be bringing in ministers from different ministry, and our goal in this Saturday special is to introduce the ministry and their work to the Liberian people. You, as the people of Liberia, need to know your ministry and what they do. When we know what they do, then we can be able to hold them accountable. The minister is telling all their work. Now I know. Now he's saying some things that we should see in the future. If I don't see them, then he will be in trouble. That is the way to go. And we want you to stay with us. So continuing on this social cash transfer,
Yep.
you targeted about 3,500 households beginning
Yep.
from Grand Crew to Maryland,
Yep.
and
Yep.
approximately there's a big number, 10,000 extremely poor and full insecure households. So
Thank you.
walk them us through how you determine a household being poor and I just heard a feedback, being poor and insecure in terms of food. How do you come to that determination?
Like I said earlier, the 10,000 number had been a previous number that was existing before we took over. That was the first data set they carry on. But yes, we are also going back to prove this data, and even on the level of expanding. That's why we have a firm from Ghana called Isoko was giving a data firm to manage our data collection in Liberia. Also, they'll be working along with us to verify this data, while we have a local Liberian team called Narisa who also work along with data to verify them.
Right.
On verification in the sense where previously those data were existing, but on the 10,000 number, the number have been, that is the target for the entire program, that the system will be looking up to 10,000 beneficiaries. So 10,000 beneficiaries, that's why I said first, target, triggers, and the DPOs. So you get target and you get achievement. On when you achieve the particular program, you say, I will check target 3,004 person by this particular time. If you don't do it, World Bank put you in the red. But if you do it, World Bank give you a green, mean you say your disbursement record is good. So pull you up. Now, the target of the program will be ending in 2021. But since we took over, I did what we call a program called the South-South Connection. We can only have only two counties or three counties that will be benefiting. So I designed a program level called South-South Connection. South-South Connection in the sense where employees, Ruaji, Sino, employing Riverses, employing Grandida, employing Bassa, and we're looking at it that we can start to collect data from the kind of area. So we saw the idea to use it, and use it, but then you've been smart, I like this. So the talkers say, okay, we might look at it. Hopefully, if we can achieve what we have done already with World Bank money, they might also sponsor 6 counties. Who knows, they might spread. Now, we just had a meeting with World Bank 2 days ago. They're saying that we can have a right to visit another country. It means that we could go to beyond. They think I already say, come in, we are not 10 million to help. So people are looking at it because social protection is a way to go, because it is the informal sector level where people can grow from and become somebody of betterment to your country, being low class or middle class, because informal sector can produce a lot of middle class. If you see around the world now, too many informal, because everybody doing a self-business, independent businesses, small business holders, these are all informal sectors. But now if you can see people come from there, become millionaires, Liberia can do it too.
I mean, the more you call World Bank and these bodies, there's something in me like it looks like we're really working for the World Bank now and not our people. But my question here is this: You said the 10,000 numbers came from the previous administration. So let's say 5 years ago.
Yes.
Things might have changed now. Some of those
Yeah.
people might have died. So are you saying you did not really verify this number and you started disbursing the money?
Like I said, I will verify with a Liberia firm called Narisa. They did the verification and people are existing. What we're doing, we're adding on new people. If you're not there, you might pass. Look for the person who can be in a kind of category who might be poor again. You can add on to that number. But the target for them that is set for the money is 10,000 persons. So when 2,000 persons there, we must make sure that we verify to get the 2,000 persons in the system to reach the total number of 10,000.
What has the impact been of this?
Well, it's been going gradually because the impact is huge. Where plenty of people want to get on board, but we can't put everybody there. We have to seek out for funding first.
No, I mean those who are already there. What has been the change in their life?
Oh yeah, some. I will try to share a video with answer it. There are some who have made immense progress. Like some in Grand Crew that I know. Some of our mothers have been able to buy or secure more land for more farming. Some have been able to do more, 2, 3 more black houses. Now, the most interesting progress that we've made, and that was even presented at the United Nations General Assembly and a women program in New York, was the one from Bomi, the money that they were given before. So we came back, we want to do PDM, post distribution monitoring. There were some old folks in Bomi who have made serious progress. I tell you, she have developed herself from 1, 2 to 3 debris houses that she plastered now. Some she even renting it. And in your backyard, she have a long keyboard garden and she's selling corn. That is a tremendous progress that has been made for this program. And guess what? Another thing we're trying to do again is to develop the household level to match with the PAPD lifting 1 million poor poverty. So as we do it, because if you get, assuming you get 700,000 person as household, you're going to be looking at 2.5, 3 million people as individual population. So if we can get 100 to 200,000, that's our target to 300,000, we'll be looking at a very huge number in lifting more than 1 million poor poverty. And that's the economic that we're trying to look at.
I look forward to that. And viewers, if you're just joining us, this is Focus on Liberia. If you want to join the conversation, our number is posted there, 605-313-6004. The code is 79143. Honorable Minister, for me, I was born and raised all the way in the Beyond God back. So anytime I see your ministry, what is your presence in those other counties? You have sub offices of, how are you there?
Yes, we are there. We are present in every county capital. We have what we call county coordinators. We have a county coordinator there in every county. We have the county social. We have a social worker assisting. We have data collectors. They are all in all these counties that feed on situation information from there as they unfold. Some counties still have their vehicles. UNICEF helped us the last time. Like Sano, your county, Sano have a vehicle, still have a vehicle. I think Nima, Basel, Bomishu have kept on all the repair. We're trying to fix it so that you keep on running to make sure things are going on very fast.
What's up, Man County Grand Crew? Is there a vehicle there for the folks there who are working to do
Grand Crew have vehicle, but the vehicle, the road condition I just spotted. But thank God, I know we're trying to see how we can service it to get it back because the road to Grand Crew now is being paved, it's been fixed. Is that another progress for us? So the vehicle can help stay long in the county at this time.
All right,
Mr. Minister, we got a caller on the line.
Yeah.
Hello, caller. Your name and where you calling from?
Good morning. My name is Rose Joy. How you guys doing this morning?
Great. Welcome, Rose. Your question or comment, quickly.
My question can be quicker because that gender ministry there, I don't understand what's going on in there. And I've so long been waiting. It's almost like a lifetime wanting to ask questions to one of those people in that ministry. So I'm so glad that we have a representative on here today. So I was following the show. I hear you guys putting data when kids get raped or something happens. There's a data that's put in. So one of my questions would be, if you go to a house and a kid are getting abused, what do? Do you leave the kid there and go home and put in data? So my thing is, why are you putting in data? You're not doing nothing about the situation. And secondly, I see kids. I went to Liberia. I visited for the second time. I see kids age of 7 years old, 8 years old, selling in the street when they're supposed to be in school. And that is your job, to make sure parents are taking responsibility of their kids. That's something you see. You're driving your car and you see little kids selling gum and candy in the sun. They're 7 and 8 and 9. They're not responsible to sell and feed the family. You understand me? And I know you, the guy that's on there, I know him. He's a friend of mine. And you come to the states and you see other systems running. I think you will go, the best thing, you will go to Liberia and try to structure something. The kids in Liberia are really suffering. They are really being proud. They are already being put with responsibility that they have no business being put with, and parents are not taking responsibility of their kids. That's what happens when kids get raped, because of the fact that gender ministry are not going and making parents responsible. So when a grown man see a 10-year-old little girl with boobs and breasts, with boobs and butts, he wants to collect her in his car and go and rape her. Then it become a case. But what happened before it become a case? What are you guys doing?
Thank
So,
you.
I'm so happy you're here today, because that whole ministry, I don't understand what goes on there. So that's my question to you, and I hope you guys can find assistance to help the children of Liberia, because they are dying, they are crying, and they are suffering.
Thank you, Rose.
Thank you
Uh,
very much.
and Mr. Karneh, to put a context around her last point, there was this case that the Lena show where a 10-year-old girl was selling milk candy, and this guy bought everything and said, "Follow me to the house, I will give you the money." And there, when the girl followed her, she was raped and even sodomized. So you can respond to the caller.
Thank you. You know, you just touched me. The caller just touched me on that issue. But like I said, and I will say again, I'm a fighter on that line. It comes to it. Before talking about is the first question, on the first question, she said the little child that will be selling, and then what do we do? I will collect the data. I just didn't know. If any case of a rape, if any case of a rape is, are we there?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
we're here.
If any case of a rape is brought to our attention and is immediately at either one-stop center or homes, we involve the police, we involve our social worker, we deploy them immediately to take action to get them. But as they getting them to the hospital for checkup and to the police for investigation, these are the pathway. Sometimes between these lines, there are people, parents or so, will try to come back to compromise on because from the investigation, from the interview to the social worker, all the points will be taken to the police station, Women and Children Division, where they will have the findings to be sent to Justice Ministry and then to the court for prosecution.
You're talking about Morovia?
Yes, I don't move it.
Because no police in Dudweka.
No, I know.
Okay.
What we're trying to do, we just establish two courts in the region. Rape court in Nima and Banga. So it's like working along that way little by little. But so far, 3 courts to sort to judge kind of cases now. But if we should start doing that, on a delay as parents, it harm us. But I will say example myself. There was a case, a rape case that I handled before even going to join the general ministry on my first job, on a family member, on somebody that I knew. I made sure that person went to jail for that price, for that case. I wouldn't want to say it. Justice was done. So such case, I don't like to see it happening. When it's rape case, As I want to do, you see more right people coming in, but so don't have the information, that person will serve the full weight of the law. Now, if I approach the second question on children selling in the street, you are very right for that, madam. We have serious issue on children selling in the street, not only for being raped, but it's also for what we call American people what we call trafficking. Local trafficking can also come from our own people who will go to the interior and take the children and bring them to town to live with them or give the people to stay with them. These children will be selling for them as petty children on the street. We've tried to arrest some people, but we carry some of them back to the children's home. We have some of them in our own places. But most of the people will come, oh, my children, I can't back in the interior. We punish with them. But that's one place difficult to enter, and we have stopped them. But we have also looking for funding to build more children home to see who can take everyone from the street. We'll have to put them somewhere. We'll take them there. Since we find our parents are not all in Monrovia.
All right, Mr. Minister, I came across something that you call social registry system.
Yes.
My understanding is that if potential and actual beneficiary honor your social protection program. So
yes.
Tell me, what is the social registry system all about, and how do you gather information for that, and what do you use it for?
The social registry system is intended to build for entire Liberia to help people in everywhere that have to deal with social protection issues. Not just gender ministry, but Liberia, because it has a national mandate to take data from everybody that has to deal with social protection issue in Liberia. Fine now. Social security, justice, Ministry of Youth and Sport. All those information will be stored in there. Take for example that when tomorrow an investor is coming to Liberia or Bobby on the airport, it will tell you exactly after we shall collect data from the entire Liberia. It will tell you, say, in this particular area county, we get people of this age, people of this level of education, people of this need, people of this level of poverty. So if you want to invest, you want to help people, we want you to go there. So that government will be directing investment and economic development packages to this area. We will have social security system. That is what we are building upon now. But we're starting with gender ministry and expand to the higher level.
This is a future project. It's not something that you...
But it's ongoing right now. It's working along concomitantly along with the social cash program. So all the social cash data we're collecting from the field, that's what we put it in place, because we have a system already set. We know exactly who in the system that we can go to in the county, in Maryland, in Grand Crew, in Rowaji, Bomi. They are in the system already. So as we go more, we put in the system. We go more, put in the system, and the system will develop and grow as we take the entire Liberia on data collections.
All right, let's come to the domestic violence bill. I believe it was signed by the president. I saw that your ministry was represented in Antoke Victory Lab. I think it's a good thing. But let's go into it. It seeks to abolish all forms of violence meted against women and children. It also recognizes physical and sexual abuses as serious crimes, rape being one of those. So we're talking rape now. What is your major challenge in fighting this crime called rape?
This is a very good question I will always speak about, and the minister will come another time will address it. Challenges in fighting rape, one, in Liberia. Like I said, people want to always, the family, because our family traditional values to the extent where in the interior cultural area, your son or the town chief or his assistant son rape my daughter, and then we are all one. You can't do that to me. You want to put me in jail because if you take my son and then you carry it away, that's the first compromise we have had. Right. And we fight to speak against it. We find to speak against it with the rape, the DV bill sensitization that will get out the people telling us, look, we beg you, do not compromise rape on any way possible. That's the first thing. The second thing is to get the referral part of the hospital to where they will have proper medical checkup and timeliness, because if a medical checkup result can come in time, we don't have all the free report to the women and children. And when women and children get all the results, they have to go do background investigation. Now, when a case, but then the corporate might all be in jail. But then if we shall go to the judicial justice ministry, they be prosecuting. The main issue there is the docket, where in the court we have to put that file. We don't want court of rape in Monrovia on docket to say, today we are reviewing this case. Now, on that note, also it has become a human rights issue on us. That means we haven't somebody in jail, we have not even pursued the government. It's not us. Supreme Court get our own time to make sure when they will preside on which term of court to put the case there. That's one issue there. So that brings our attention to put it forward to the people that we will need more courts in Liberia to fast track GBV cases, especially rape in Liberia.
Those are the challenges. What has been the, let's say for those rapists or perpetrators that are caught, what has been their end? Because what I learned is they'll be in jail and after some time the jail is overcrowded and they are set free. Have you been able to follow some particular cases to the end to really see what is done to these perpetrators? Yeah, we have like Mr. Bumele, we have some cases that are in jail right now. Some cases of rape that happening in by Nima or Sino. The guys in, I don't want to call him that, but in jail now in Bassa. And then you can call his name. He's a perpetrator. No, it's unprofessional. We don't do that. You want information I can give you in Bassa? No, you protect the identity of the rapist? No, the case now that I've been, but it wasn't one. It was a group of people. So okay, complete information on that inbox, so you can read it and understand you talk about it. So what I mean, I'm not talking about the victims. I'm talking about the perpetrators. We don't call them. We protect their identity. No, we're not putting that. Some cases may not be all achieved. You don't want people to know. Some people when they go to jail, they have judgment already. Sometimes I don't want to be judging above what the judge will say. And like I said, the case I want to go through, because I call the man, it'll be everybody the hellfire, hell break loose. Because if I'm calling it, I mean it's personal thing on my thinking about. But when you call the person name, there will be reminder, re-victimization of the person that was raped. I wouldn't want to go find that because I have one already. That's some fire protection. We want to protect that. Okay. If I start calling some of the victims, some of the rapists in India right now, it will be so much bad for that. And I mean, if somebody I'll be victimizing my own person or somebody who I know very well, who I work for.
All right. Before we go to our caller, then I get ready to bring in a caller. The domestic violence bill also cover vulnerable boys and men. I want to know why are perpetrators targeting men as well?
We have recent cases that we're working on as I speak to you in a small town area beyond the city Ecuador, where there are some people who are even selling boys. The case is ongoing on investigation right now. So it's covering everybody. Wow. So we arrested the police, we do some 3, and then the case will be going to Central for investigation with the Women and Children Division. So yeah, certainly it's there too.
Has there been cases or a case that have come to the ministry attention where women too going after younger boys and abusing them sexually?
That is one aspect when we're having a debate with the legislature. They have some issue calling for what do you call that psychological trauma in the bill. But that is something that they said they were still looking about themselves because it happened to everyone. It will happen to ourselves. Right. The woman can't get be you fine. The woman get good ones to you, but most of them say men will have the strength, but women do have strength too. So that part will also be looked at. The law is there; it can be revised at a time. Let's bring in Kesali Double. Kesali, you are live.
Thank you very much, Mr. John.
Thank you.
Good morning to you, and good morning to Mr. Pierre.
Thank you, though.
And good afternoon to the minister there. Mr. Minister.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we've been following issues in Liberia we do on a daily basis. But when it comes to some of these rape cases, I don't know as to whether you guys are being allowed at that ministry to actually do your job effectively, or is it being politicized? Because some of the rape cases that we hear about is being done within the hierarchy. Do you guys actually push some of those cases to the logical end, or do you guys politicize it as usual because of some political reasons or because they want to protect their job? And at the ministry there was a time we also heard that that ministry was highly politicized, especially when it comes to this CDC thing, where you guys had your vehicles and everything written on it with CDC, where there was some mismanagement of donor funds that were given to you to carry on some projects, especially in the rural area. Can you please address yourself to some of those issues for us so that we can know? Because I learned that even some of your cars were being painted blue to my CDC color. I highly appreciate it if you can address yourself to some of those issues for us. Thank you.
Thank you, Kessley.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kessley. The first thing I will tell you that I can't remember any of my car that I know that I have. In fact, my car I have is a well-Land Cruiser. The one that they have, my minister proper have is new alico is gray. And so for gray. I don't think I have a car, gender ministry official vehicle that is painted blue as a CDC color. That is false and misleading. I don't know if you can provide such evidence. I'll be very happy to change that color immediately and to punish against to get punishment against that person, but we don't have that. On that note, we can run the place as CDC based. Let me give you some information to know that I have many of my friends, like I said, I have more than 20 years experience in government. Many of my friends that I know that have been serving in my government before, found the states, are all working there now. Even my technical assistant is a pure, a body woman. But guess what? I base myself on the professional work that you have to do. And if you can't live up to the work, then you will have problem. But she's working. I don't have no problem, and we do our work professionally. Now, to the level of the gentleman said, the next question on the question previously on that we are not working in the ministry. No, we are. We can't have political issue. There are some people who also have names, senior official before, and were involved in the kind of cases before. But as we went far in looking into the cases, people can just go and say, oh, I lie, or it didn't happen the way. The Hassan Karneh case, if I may call name, right? Somebody went and say, oh, it may raped me. We went checking the case, the guys stay away. And we have some people who all get information on some officials. And we have those files and follow on the cases. Up to the time we do it, the level with water and sewer, the guy said no. The guy finally said, no, the man raped me. So people can come with their own statement. It's not for me. It's not for us as a ministry. Probably will come from them and their family. They will wish to make sure that the case can no longer go forward.
Right, and you are right about that, because sometimes it's not the Ministry of Gender's role; it becomes law enforcement issue. Because exactly. I know that when my son called a police here, even by accident, the police will come. Even if we tell them the child is made a mistake, they will still investigate. Yeah. Like if a wife calls and the police come and say, "Oh, I was joking. Me and my husband, we're okay now," they will still investigate. So it becomes a law enforcement issue. So how are you working with law enforcement so that, because poverty and other things going to play, right? So even the person who say, "Oh no, I lie on myself," are you still able to work with law enforcement to do some forensic? I don't know if it's there, or do something to further investigate, and don't rely on the words of the victim, because the victim may be, harassed or given money or something.
Yeah. We have somebody. That's why we deploy social work into the rural community. Work along with CBOs, community-based organization, CSOs, right? So if you have somebody with job ears, especially those that are working on a referral pathway, when you only refer pathway with us, a particular case in the casing point will show that you are in a particular locality. We will also ask, since a person job that case, when you follow up with those people involved, if they are still keeping tape on that person, it remains still, because there's some people who can go back to go rape a child again after the case have died down. So they'll go back, go do it. So anything of such, let us know. Immediately we can try to do it on arrest. And for the advancement, let me tell you one thing. This is what we are trying to do now. I'm proposing, we just did a concept on that, to propose what we call a gender task force. We need to have people, like police, who will be arrested, who will be going to pick up immediately, and we'll be making our case forth. But the minister will be discussing that for us. So I don't want to get deep into that, but we're making a policy on that to have a gender task force.
Mr. Sear, we have another caller.
Yes, let's bring in our caller there. See, the minister is sweating. He's not eating free money today.
Tavina, you are live. Welcome to Focus on Liberia. Tavina Cole.
Good morning. Focus on Liberia. Good morning or good afternoon, Minister Hassan. I believe that's your name. Okay.
Yes, yes,
I want to speak to a few things.
Yes.
First, I want you, when your show is over, I want you to take a look at the comment section. I have a lot of food for thought for you there, and it will be helpful as you do your work every day. One thing I want to speak to before I go into my question, I wanted to speak to the myth about, I cannot talk about the perpetrator because of whatever reason. You are protecting the perpetrator. Once the arrest has been made, that is public information. If the case is pending, you don't have to discuss the facts of the case and all of that, but you can discuss the case number. You can discuss, the charges, the pending charges, and all of that. But you should, as an agency, should be protecting the survivor, and not to expose the information, but not a pending or a case that's already closed, especially somebody who's already in jail and all that. So I want you to take note of that. And also, if you're unsure about that, you need to talk to law enforcement authorities, even in Liberia, because even in America, that happens. I have prosecuted a case here, and I'm proud to say a case involved a Liberian, Sable Ernest Lord, in Maryland. Okay. I prosecuted, I was turning over, we went to that case, and I can call his name here. He was prosecuted and charged for sexual offense, and I can proudly say that. So stop protecting the rapists. You're not doing your work as a government agency. So let's move on from that. Take note of that, and I'll go to my questions.
Okay.
You also, I understand that you're in charge of policy and research. I want you to tell us the last time that when you did 2 or 3 researches on gender issue, when the last time you did that, and make sure and let us know when was the last time you did that, and where is that information? Where is that report? What was the outcome of those researches? Also, I want you to tell us when was the last time you guys did press releases or public conference, press releases with the public where you invite the common citizens and everybody to come and listen to you guys and give you feedback and all of that. I understand that you guys have monthly meetings with stakeholders, with some agencies, but that is not open to the general public. I'm saying, like Mr. Jai said, I'm saying I have a nonprofit, it's Josvina Skills Building. I'm also a member of a group, a newly founded group of Liberians who calls Liberia Sexual-Based Violence Awareness Group. I'm sure you've heard about us and see us on Facebook creating awareness. We've been saying over and over that we want to be part of your process. We know you have a booking process. We know you guys have a need. We have reached out to your minister. We have expressed it differently. I personally have emailed your minister. I've gotten no response. And you're the second person also saying that, we need help. We're here. But when they will email you guys, you never respond. I'm waiting for 1 month. I asked for your referral pathway, your survivor referral pathway. I've asked for your last general report. I've also asked for the programs. You got all the million programs. You have a survivor program. You have a GVB program. We ask for this information. These are public information that should be on your website. I've asked for it. So I want you to make a commitment today on this show that you will produce those information, whether to Mr. Sear, to Mr. Ja, or to me. They have my information. So I'll start there. And if there's a need to call back, I will. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you, Davina. The first thing, thank you for calling, and I love the passion. I won't lie. I love the passion. The question they are asking are all technical questions that deal with sexual gender-based violence issues in Liberia. But the first thing we are developing our website. Like I said, those information have been filtering recently. Like Dennis said, we always get pardon working along. Yes, we are working along with Carter Center and building our website. I was on the team, leading that team. That website has been built. Press releases are there for the most recent program we've been having. We have press releases there. We have some information relating to that. Now, there are some content that has not been filled in it. The way you see the referral pathway, gender issues, all the kind of, it will be coming up. We'll be uploading it very soon. So I don't want you to just go up there. If you want it different, I could get it for you, send it to Answer CA, and all the information you think you want. You can send email or you can let me know. I will send my email to CA. Then ask for the question you want, ask the information you want. I will forward everything to you on that. The other one is that, people will start calling people names on an issue. Yeah, there are some people being prosecuted and put in jail who want to cause some, like, it begins some, even as you said, it became political issue. Yeah, it became political. It was tough. The Momodu Vio Sally case, I will call it in Boina. The Momodu Vio Sally case, it became political case. But yes, justice was served. You understand? So all the people there, we are trying to do, but sometimes some people may know exactly when we call the name, it reflects on the victim himself. And in that case, we call it re-victimization. That's the only reason why we can be afraid not to victimize the person, and we keep coding the victim.
And Mr. Minister, there are other forms of sexual violence, like sexual harassment in the workplace, or sex for grades. Even
Mr. Jad, I don't want to interrupt you. Minister, you can get a towel to wipe your sweat down. We can.
My corner go on. I'm not sweating for that.
Okay. Yeah, Mr. Jad, sorry about that. Continue.
Right. Other forms of this sexual violence, like I gave an example, sexual harassment on a job, sex for grades or for job, and the medical people too, sexually abusing patients, and all these other different forms. Do you get cases like that?
We have cases of such. Like most recently, like I said, we have what we call the administrative agency. We're trying to develop what we call gender, social, and inclusion units. Now, social inclusion unit, it means that when you're on a job, no man, because he's a supervisor, should come and test you in one place. That's sexual harassment job already. You should agree. And even you agree, now where you'll be playing your lover. On a job, if man be doing that, you are harassing that person already. So that's one place we're trying to develop it. We'll give people the idea, careful workshop. At the very max, we're trying to spread those information all over Liberia. That everybody will be employed. Anybody in your employer who will harass you for a job, harass you for promotion, will have problem. We are taking it now to the schools, to the Ministry of Education. We have partnership with them to make sure, go to the school, sex for grade, talk to them. Because adolescent girls unit, AGU, and all the girls will be there. They have peers, they have friends who discuss the kind of thing. If anybody in school, among yourself, who pressure you to say sex for grade, want to report, and that person will definitely face the full weight of the law.
All right, Honorable Minister, let's move to the final segment. That is funding and something you wanted to talk about.
Do you have that video,
yeah, Mr. Jan?
Do you have that video where the lady was dancing and one of the lawmakers?
I have the video, but I think the minister saw the video. You want to ask them to move to funding? That's fine.
Go.
Which one?
So I think there was, you talk about it, Dennis.
Yeah, there was this. I think they were opening a place in Claratown, Bakuba Avenue, and the ladies were dancing. And what this lady, they were dancing. You know how African ladies they dance. And one of the lawmakers went and slapped the woman back part and to put money on it. Yeah. And the other official of government did the same thing. So I don't know how that is. I've been in America for almost 20 years now, so I may be a little bit out of touch when it comes to the culture. Is that normal?
Well, if there's no complaint, it's normal for the person. But if there's complaint, they will have issues. Because you won't go and say, I want to arrest the man for your business. You should say, this man did something to me, because you will definitely have to give statement. So I can go arrest the person or bring a case where you were not going to make any statement.
Oh, Mr. Minister, your policy, the national or general policy, one of the things that in there is sexual harassment. So this lady was, I mean, she part of a team. I think it's I think that's small time international, right? The government uses this group. They're from my area, the Nikru town. So they were performing as they would normally do. And this lady with this big behind doing what she does best, and the minister felt attracted. I mean, the honorable man felt attracted and went and slapped the woman behind. So, looking at the image of the government that he worked in, and you, the minister, you saying no complaint, so no case. Is that why you want to tell us?
No,
Because this is your work.
Yeah, this is what we want to do. Say,
Yeah.
If I should go on a case of such and start to put the minister or the honorable to a book like we always do, I bet I can do it down. But that lady will say, I don't have any case, I don't have a complaint. Why should you take my case? I didn't complain to you. We can take a chance. If that woman will say, you did it to me wrongly, if she still report tomorrow, Monday, that case will hear that will go ask that honorable to turn and say, for investigation.
What's about the statement, ignorance of the law excuses no one? That is, let's assume it is a law in Liberia. That's some form of sexual harassment, even though the woman doesn't feel that way. But the policy is on the board for you to enforce as the policy implementer, and you see that he said send the woman in, complaint, no case. Is that how we should implement our policy?
Let me give another example of a girl. Now, when I had not found complaint to us, but she said, and I repeat on Dixon Sibo, she said the man had been harassing me in my inbox. That's the reason why you want to keep me in jail. Fine, we agree. She filed a complaint and journalists follow up all to us. Guess what? We spoke to him. We want to hear his side. And he said, I will come over and talk. We called the girl to, if I can say, we want to speak to you. My deputy minister of general, I will give her the number to call to come from hearing. If it goes beyond that, action will be taken place. But she shouldn't be saying the man do that to me, but now she bringing a case. It had been happening before. But something different happens, she said, now she bringing it up.
But Mr. Minister, that one was done in secret then, so there's no way you could intervene. But now that it has come public, you have invited her. So it's the same case with this incident we're talking about of an official of government in an open on camera, tapping the woman behind, and he's not the one. Several ministers did that. I mean, officials.
Okay, let
me commit myself to see that video, and then I can talk with the minister and the deputy minister of general to see the actual attempt and the level at which it was applied, and then probably I will raise it with the minister. I need to see a video. If you have it, please do.
Yes.
I post that in the link, and our viewers can click on that and give their comments as well. Because what we see here is there is no way she's dancing. She's performing in front of these high dignitaries. So you don't expect her to complain. She will be out of line.
Yeah.
But you look at that and think that, because what can you do? What can she do? Can she stop dancing? Can she stop the program because of that? She probably lose her job. But let's go to our next segment on funding.
All right.
And I'm a lot of them.
Let's go to funding quickly so that the minister can get some rest. He's sweating today. I wonder is it how you sweat when you're in your office?
No, but no, I have a machine because it just broke down. Current to get camera off, so it's a little bit hot. So that's why. That's the reason why.
I see. Okay.
And the lawmaker there is Fala.
Thomas Fala.
Okay, right. I'll follow up.
So we have reported a case to you, and this guy did this to my sister from Nikru Town. It has been reported to you. We want to hear from you. So let's come to funding. Okay. Earlier when we started the show, you were like, War Bank. Mr. Jad asked you a question. Maybe you didn't pay attention. He said, but do we not have our own program? Everything, War Bank. So let's talk about funding, right? So on your website, you have the United Nations and many arms of the United Nations, the UNDP, the UN Women, and then you have the
Yes.
World Bank, you have the African Development Bank, you have the
Yeah.
European Union, you have the Qatar Center, you have UC, you have SADA, and the Liberian government. And yet you are telling us no enough money to do this work. So tell us, first of all, starting with the World Bank that you praise a lot, how much money have you received from the World Bank so far?
The World Bank project has been 16 million before we came in. 6 million was from the project side supported from USAID, and 10 million from IDA, World Bank. So that's 16 million for the project, the social safety net project for up to 2021. And there are also progress notes on DFID coming in. That's a British Development Bank. We also have in bringing 10 billion to add to the World Bank funding for extension and social care also. Right. So that's that for them, they've been doing well. But our main partner and sponsors when it comes to the ministry is UN Women. They work along mainly with military as a department, mainly as a department of gender, particular gender issues. So UN Women will sponsor the trade, the GBV issue, the various assessment when it comes to gender-related issue. UN Women will sponsor that. But there are some little issues when it comes to monitoring and evaluation, my department, they will not be sponsoring everyone because they say, oh, for different UNFPA to support you for that. And UN Women also support, when it comes to UNICEF, they also support gender department and children department, right? So children and social protection department, UNICEF sponsor that. When it comes to the European Union, they also give support to gender department and children division the department. Now, in that, the reason why the European Union came in because it has something called Spotlight. It's spending some 20 million on Spotlight to get rid of harmful traditional practices in Liberia. So they equate to gender issue also. So when we took over, when we came there, what I did was I drafted an MAE plan, because the project did not have an MAE plan. So I said, I can't accept this project going like this, because how do you monitor our people who have changed their life from being in the traditional practices to normal life, especially children, to divert their attention? What have we done? So there'll be need to have a monitoring plan to monitor these activities. So that's for that. UNFPA sponsor both children division and UNICEF, gender department for sometimes they on the gender issues, victim, survivors, then allow the support on data collection issues. UNICEF is also, we propose some document to UNICEF on data issue. They also try to see how it can help us with sharing data. But we have to have our focus point sponsor on the kind of issue of data monitoring. Is most likely the World Bank, what we're doing for our project that we intend to support that. But we're imparting, making sure that all the projects and responsibility are going to be spread in every department work, because it starts from there and then we can get away.
Mr. Karneh, in America, we say there's no free lunch.
Yeah.
Back home, we say, if you eat my rice, you got to sing my song. Yeah. What are some of the strings attached to all this help that you're getting from World Bank and all the different bodies? Just free?
Okay, thank you for that. That's a very good question. I like that, Dennis. The World Bank, 10 million is a loan. The Liberian government will pay back. But to our people, it's free. But the Liberian government will pay back in the future, and I think we'll start paying back already. The 6 million is grant from UC. The other 10 million from DFID is also grant. So we're going to have 10 million to pay back from World Bank itself.
And why are they giving you 10 million free? Are they just good?
Well, DFID came up with it's a grant because they are so believer in social protection. And I believe they are one of the biggest donors to World Bank in trying to help grow social protection. Because we are at the first stage of social protection in Liberia, that is the poorest of the poor. the next stage of the social protection Liberia might be what we call informal sector development. And I traveled to some other World Bank project and trainings around the world for that, in Morocco, Paris, Mauritius, and I have a lot of trainings on the World Bank IMF as it relates to social protection. Yeah.
So now has the planning part, let's say how much you have in the budget, but as the year starts, when you sit down and we have a long distance caller, I think we can bring that person on quickly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So at the beginning of the year, when you are starting to plan, you just plan on what you're going to get from outside donors. That should be difficult.
No, that like right now we submitted our annual budget, our fiscal budget for 2021 budget, fiscal budget to the Ministry of Finance. And that budget will be submitted to
Mr. John, let the caller go. Let the
government to
cut
it into this.
Mr. Minister, let the caller come in and then he can respond. Okay, it's a long distance call.
I'm positive. Okay, go ahead.
Caller from long distance, please. You are live.
Yeah, hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Right. My name is Emmanuel Zawe, and I call from Ohio. And I just want to throw a little light on the topic we were discussing before coming to this UN food issue. And that has to do with the character of our lawmaker. Right. You know, we will be frank to say that it was not prudent as a lawmaker, but with respect to the fact that people are pushing to say, oh, he should be called and be asked why this went on. I think the Honorable Minister on your platform made it clear, even here in the United States where we are, we normally go to jobs and then we are told about sexual harassment, but there is a clause that states if you touch someone in a way that is inappropriate and this person does not report it because it might be looked at as appropriate to the person, there can be any case taken up by the company. That is one aspect. So in this case, I don't think it's going to be a necessary thing to call this particular lawmaker to book because of what he did, but rather to caution him that, hey, these are some of the repercussions and it's not good. And that is it. That can be done underwater, because when we say underwater, I'm just using a Liberian term to say informally, because it's going to make sure that he comes to book to know that what he did was wrong and not carry that on again. That's one. Secondly, those are some of the actions if we take. Someone did not report him and then he's being called. It's going to dig up some other ill feelings in our society. As Liberians, we are thinking about moving forward.
Mr.
So
Zawe,
that's just my little take on this.
Mr. Zawe, if the sexual harassment laws here in the United States, because if your boss touches you inappropriately, some women can be uncomfortable, right? But they won't say it because of the fear of their job. So how do you find out? So if you are somewhere and you see something, they say you see something, you say something, right? So even though that woman is complaining, I who saw it and felt, that it was inappropriate, I can still complain to HR, right? So HR
So that means you are a whistleblower.
Yeah, HR will come in and
you being a whistleblower.
If the lady doesn't have a problem with that, then it's okay. That means it's not it was not unwelcome. But first, it should be reported unless someone.
True. That's what we're saying. That means a whistleblower has come out to say this. But you, in particular, comparing the Liberian law or the Liberian way of life with the U.S. way of life. Haven't you seen such a thing? Don't you know that?
Minister, if that's acceptable, that's all. If that's the way we do it, that's all.
No, but the thing is, if you were a Ghanaian asking a Liberian minister, then it sounds to reason. But you are a Liberian, you are part of the culture, and you know it. So this is just considered as inciting, instability, because that is just going to bring us something different.
I've been out of there over 20 years.
Yeah, even if you've been out of there over 20 years, the culture has not changed. it's still the same. But let's try to, talk about it and say, look, these things are not okay with modern society, and let the rumor go to the person, and that will be able to bring the person to book, instead of inciting something that someone is going to go to this woman and tell this woman, oh, you have to do this and pay, because we know how Liberian politics is. Before you look, that can bring us something in our country. That's just what I'm trying to say as a means of. Say again?
I say inciting is a strong word, but thanks for your opinion.
Yeah, sure.
All right, Mr. Minister, we got to wrap it up here soon. So you were talking about funding from, your partners, but let's come to the government. From your work too, you coordinate, you prepare reports, the budgeting and all that. You have to draw your budget for the year. How much has been in your budget for the past 2 years, to do your work? Because we will look at what you are allotting for yourself, then we'll know you're taking your job serious. But I look at Buffer Chima is getting $1 million. I look at the office of the president, I see somewhere around $26 million. How much is the budget of the Ministry of Gender, Children, and Social Protection? How much?
I will only urge you guys to advocate for the Ministry of Gender to have money, specifically advocate for the ministry to do its work to the national government. We have been having very low money. The previous budget when we made it was only 3 million, not 3 million. Now we have gone all the way down to 2 million down, and all the money going to salaries. The main money to do work is on goods and services. So the economy have been, my problem is the economy have been a problem. Shambo will not get in it. Yes, but at least we should be having some low want to do it. But it's been a difficult tax.
So how do you feel about this, Mr. Minister? I don't mean to interrupt. The president budget is around 15 million and above. This is a ministry that covers the entire country. You're talking about women and children and the vulnerable, and you have less than $3 million. I mean, does that show that your priority is set straight here?
Well, we usually make budget, like the most recent we made budget of up to 6 to 7, 8 million apart from other partner support. Now, but guess what? It's not going through the way it is. Everybody come back to the economy, the allocation. But it is about time that people will realize that the importance of gender ministry, like you said, I deal with vulnerable women and children issues. So we should prioritize that. Like I said, I've been financial specialist and economist. My career is I am an economic diploma, right? But I'm dealing with partnership from international organization level that are gender because they are partners there, and I also linking their services to the nation growth on the economy. That's also our work, but we shouldn't be depending on them. Government should be strengthening us to work on these projects by ourselves. But that is not yet forthcoming. But we hope that government can do that because I know the president have a priority for that, especially as related to women, because he's the feminist in chief.
Yeah, that's what the gender ministry call. What does that mean? If you may just explain, feminist in chief.
The male, number one male who advocate for women, for the women.
How
Where?
is doing the advocacy? I mean, the money that is being allotted there doesn't prove anything.
Yeah, no, but he on a policy wise and documentation, along with partnership on our partners. Yes, we're doing some land right for women, DV bill. These are landmarks achievement for the president in the PAPD time. Yeah, it didn't happen, isn't it? But he signed it.
The feminist in chief.
All right. Wow. My final question, Mr. Minister. Your governing document to revive the Liberian economy is the PAPD. In your line of work as the Ministry of Gender, Children, and Social Protection, how is your work contributing to the success of your PAPD that you rely on to make Liberia better in terms of jobs and other things?
I thought I said it earlier, but let me just, a little bit I said it.
Yeah,
let me say it again. Now. Yeah, our work as a Ministry of Gender is working directly with the PAPD Pillar 1. Pillar 1. Power to the people. Power to the people and gender. So we are one. Power to the people. We are empowering our people through the social service of the social cash program to lift them out of poverty. People will have chance to be able to purchase their own food, develop themselves with the little we give them. In our far interior, and I will expand, like I said, up to Liberia. They will be lifting out of poverty. That's one side of it for them as beneficiary. Also, employment. For the very contract we signed on this program, have had many youth from all the counties who have become data collectors, who have become service guys from the country are being paid by World Bank. Now the number are going to come to 1,000 plus people who will be empowering. So power to the people, employment, and our general activity for our people, like the DV bill, the land right, gender is contributing immensely to the PAPD. And we're hoping that by the time we should get through, guess what? We'll be up to we'll be above the 1 million people living out of poverty. Gender is a key component of that.
All right.
Well, okay, we'll bring in Tavina Cole, but I have this question, and maybe you can, because they say numbers can lie. Numbers very important. That even God Almighty devoted one book in the Bible to numbers. I see that data collection is a challenge, and if you don't have the numbers, it's really if there's no data, you can't plan for anything. So I see that's a challenge. I don't know what you're going to do about it. But to what extent has the absence of census, we have our census after the 10 years, so there is no accurate data in the country. To what extent has this not having census impacted your work negatively?
That's a strategic question. Yes, not having census have impacted our work negatively a little bit because the students have been censored before, which have taken over. Now, we are also now feeding back on the old census data about provided by legislation. So what we will do, on top of geographical map reading, county demarcations, and what have you, we are working along with legislation to qualify and verify these numbers before providing it as a data to be used. So yes, legislation is working with us as part of our team to make sure we can do it until we can do it adequately survey, but it should be happening soon for now. They should be doing it, according to legislation, will be next year.
Tavina Cole wants to have the last word. Tavina, you're live. Just be brief.
Tavina again. I'm sorry I had to call back, but for the record, the question I asked about the research that Hassan or the ministry have done, recent researches, 2 or 3 researches, and what was the outcome? That wasn't the answer, but just breezed over, as well as weekly. The last time we had weekly conferences with the public, that wasn't answered either. But let me go to the last point. And like I told you, I'm part of a group, the Liberia SGBV awareness group, and we want to be part of your monthly meeting. So what is the process? What do we need to do to be part of that meeting? I'm sure other Liberians in diaspora or even Liberia want to be part of that. So just clearly tell us here. There's no secret. Tell us how we can be part of this process.
Tavina, if you missed it online, if I may ask, do you have the group in Liberia registered as a?
Not in Liberia. We're just newly formed. We're working our registration in America, but we haven't registered in Liberia yet. We have partners in Liberia. Representatives in Liberia. About 10 people that are part of this group in Liberia and here.
Okay, so
and then we have over 20 people in the U.S.
Let me just tell you this.
So is registration a requirement to be part of that?
Hold on,
yes.
Meeting?
Yes. So what I want you to do is to have a formal letter of communication written. You have a article incorporation in Liberia. It's easy. You just get your organization name and bring it down. The team from Liberia would definitely have to bring it over with a formal letter from you to the minister asking for what? Sectorial clearance to operate on the GBV gender path. That would be very good. You send it to my office. When it comes to my office, I will definitely create it and make it to the MIE monitor evaluation team. We'll go to wherever you think you have your office located. They'll give you a chance. You will have every access to every information that will have to deal with gender issues in Liberia when you have a sectoral clearance.
Well, we don't have an office right now, but we do have, like I said, a group there, and we have a head of that group, who is Dr. Tandy. He's the head of the university, the department of the university there. But we can talk more about this offline.
Yes, no problem. That would be no good. I'll just guide
All right,
you to
thank
see
you.
it. No problem.
Okay,
Yeah.
sounds good.
And Hassan,
Yeah.
some time ago, I reached out to you and I wanted to see the ministry updating Liberians regularly, even if once a month or twice a month, on press conference at least, where you take questions from journalists. I'm yet to see that. What I saw recently is a couple of Facebook posts, some of them also landed on your page. That is not enough for inform people. Don't know. Are you there? I think he said his phone going off, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's what he said. All right. Then folks, unfortunately we lost the minister. Maybe he ran out of credit. I think we have gone 1 hour 45 minutes so far. That's a lot of time. Mr. Minister, sorry that we couldn't get your closing statement. Mr. Ja, I think we will close it, and I'm going to close with this. You go first.
No, I just appreciate and thank the minister for coming. We hope this be a regular occurrence because, or as much as he can, we have somebody from the gender ministry in the absence of these press conferences to tell us something. But I think the program is a very good one so that our people get to know about this ministry. I really like it.
I really like it too, and let's focus on Liberia. Keep making the effort. We will do our best to reach out to all these ministers and ministry so that they can come here and explain to all of us what is it they are doing, why they are successful, why they are failures, why they are challenges, and maybe how can Liberian also help. When we know what they are doing, then we can hold them accountable. But if we do not know, if we don't hear from them, of course, like Mr. Jazz said earlier, we are left with no room other than to make assumptions. And the assumptions might go contrary to their expectation, and they should hold themselves responsible for that. I want to close with this. The minister said the president is a feminist in chief. Two words come to mind: sunshine, ice cream. On that note, folks in cyberspace, we want to say thank you for following our broadcast here at Focus on Liberia. At 3 p.m. Eastern Time, watch out for FOL Marketplace. That is our business and economic forum. We will be talking about mortgages. Do we have that in Liberia? Oh, maybe I shouldn't use that word mortgage. Maybe I should use the word housing. I don't know. But you will hear from us at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Watch out for that business and economic forum. I will be there. I will be asking the questions. Maybe you can learn something. It can't all be about politics, people. On that note, my name is Anthony Sierra, and my partner Danny Jazz here saying to you, remember coronavirus, stay around, keep safe. We heard that there's a spike in the cases. Protect our loved ones you care about so that we can all stick around and see that shining city that we are all dreaming of. That glorious land of liberty, my homeland of Liberia. I want to see that city shining. This song is called We Are All Liberians and We Are Living That With You. Thank you and bye-bye.
We are